Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my loyals, my new subscribers, and the visitors. So somebody asked me to do this story time a while ago, but I have forgot. And I have a small platform, so if I say I'm gonna do something and I don't do it, I don't have no issue with y'all coming to me being like, Black YouTube, what happened to the video about the video about the video? And I'm gonna be like, oh, got you. And that's it. That's all you gotta do. So anyway, my first time, because they asked me about my first time when I was doing a video about my ex, and how I had never had the big O. Okay, so anyway, I was a virgin up until I was 19 years old, right? Now, before I get into this video, let me just preface it by saying this, because I enjoy story times. I really do, because it's really easy. It's like I don't have to do no research. I don't have to, analyze no shit. I could just tell a story and go about my day. But I do story times from my past, and I do story times from the present. And I think you guys can really see the difference between me in the past and me in the present when I'm doing these stories. And sometimes you guys come to these videos and you're like, oh my God, you were so naive. Like, how didn't you know this? Da 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 da. Well, the fact of the matter is, I was naive. I was very much green. That's why anytime I do a story time from the past, if you notice, I always preface it by talking a little bit about my upbringing. Because, hey, I grew up in a community where I was being taught everybody is a child of God. You have to love everybody. You have to show God through you. You know what I'm saying? And so when you grew up like that, and then you're thrusted into the real world with people from all over with all these different backgrounds, I had to learn through trial and error. I had to depend on my peers to help me navigate this shit. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, I don't have no qualms about it, because everything that I learned through my college experience has given me the armor to deal with the bullshit that goes on in the real world today. So I just want to say that, because y'all be like, oh my God, how didn't you know that? And you were so green, da da da. Yeah, I was, and I have no issue with admitting that. So anyway, girl, I was a virgin up until I was 19. And so, long story short, I met my ex, and we fell in love. And once I fell in love with him, I had this internal battle, like, I started feeling like I wanted to have sex with him, because when you fall in love with somebody, you want to be as close to them as you can possibly be. And when it's a romantic relationship, the closest is through intimacy and sex. So I started battling, like, my body, I was on my R. Kelly shit. My body is telling me that I need to do this. My emotions are telling me that I need to do this. But I still had my morals and values knocking at the door like, don't do it. Do not do it. So I was battling that. Now, what I will say is, my ex, even though he was an asshole, he was very much supportive of me being a virgin. He never pressured me, never forced me, nothing like that, right? So one day I was talking with my friend, and she was really trying to throw some shade. She was trying to throw some shade while trying to get some tea. You know what I'm saying? And so she was like, I know you fucking. I know you fucking. Because see, this is the thing. When you are a virgin up until a certain age, the people in your life become obsessed with your virginity, right? So she was like, I know you fucking. I know y'all fucking. And I was like, no, we're not. And she was like, how y'all not fucking? Like, I know it's hard. And I was like, no, it's actually pretty easy. And she was like, it's easy for you because you ain't never did it. But she was like, that nigga know what pussy feel like, and he know what he missing. And when she told me that, it was like a bomb drop, because I had never even considered that factor, right? And so, and he was very popular. A lot of girls wanted him. And these tricks out here were willing to do whatever. And I was like making him wait. So when she told me that, it was like like in my head constantly. But at the same time, I was already battling because I wanted to anyway, right? So, we a young couple. and we trying to be abstinent. So we doing everything. You know, we dry humping, we kissing, we doing everything. But I was a real virgin. I wasn't no Catholic virgin. No shade, no offense, but where I'm from, you know, they say the Catholic virgins, they get it up the butt and they still think they a virgin. I wasn't getting it up the butt. I wasn't taking it in the mouth. I wasn't doing nothing. You might have got a 5-finger discount, but I wasn't really doing anything. So, I had this cousin that lived in the city that I was going to school with at the time. And so I would go to her house on the weekends. She had went to New Orleans this particular weekend, and I still had the key and access to her house. And so he had driven me to her house, and we were in the car, you know, making out, doing whatever, getting all hot and heavy. And, you know, I was like, all right, let me go. And so I remember he was like, so what I'm supposed to do about this? And I was like, what? And when I looked, his junk was out. And I was like, what? Now, I wasn't, you know, shocked because I was acquainted with his junk. His junk just wasn't acquainted with me. So I already knew the length. I already knew the width. I already knew all the measurements and things like that. Okay, that's why I told the nigga yes when he got on one knee. Okay, just kidding. But I already knew everything about it or whatever. I just, you know, I hadn't, you know, taken the ride yet. So I still played it off like, I don't know what you're going to do about that, but I'm gone. And so I remember when I went in my cousin's house, I didn't even turn the lights on. I was just thinking about what my friend said, thinking about what I had been battling with, thinking about him saying what he going to do, thinking about these hoes out here. And I was just like, you know what? Tonight's the night. Tonight's the night. So I called him and I was like, where you at? Like how far you are? And he was like, what you mean where I'm at? Like, what's up? So you know how you know a dude so well. Like, I knew the dude was smiling. Even though we were on the phone, like, I knew the nigga was smiling because he already knew what time it was. And I was like, where you at? You back on campus? Are you still en route? Like, what's up? And he was like, what's up? Like, I could come back or whatever. And so I was like, yeah, come back. And so I was like, I said, make sure you get some condoms. And he was like, I got you. And you know niggas, when they think they about to get some pussy, they got you. You could say, make sure you get that star out of the sky. He gonna be like, I got you, okay? So I was nervous. Like, I didn't know what to do. So I went, I took a shower, and I was like, I didn't know what to put on. I didn't know, like, I was like, what do I put on, you know? And so, girl, I put on a whole new outfit. I'm talking socks, shoes. I had put on a whole new outfit, right? And so I remember I kept peeking out the window looking for him, you know what I'm saying? And then I saw them lights coming, and I was like, oh my God. And the crazy thing about it was, I knew him, like, we were best friends, you know what I'm saying? But just because we were about to do this, it was like he was a whole new person to me. Like, I was so nervous. I have never been that nervous in my life, right? So I see him walking up to the door, and he had like this swag about him. He had like that whole New York swag, and I was just like, oh my God. So when I opened the door, he just started, you know, we started kissing or whatever. So he was trying to go to my cousin's bedroom, and I was like, no, we're not about to go in her bedroom. Are you crazy? I'm not about to do that in there. And so then he was like, all right, he was trying to go to the couch. And I was like, no, I don't want to be on the couch because, you know, that's where the guests sit. And I don't want to think about that when people sitting there, you know, watching TV and shit. And he was like, so what you want to do? So we went to another room. And baby, I thought I was going to get straight D, okay? I thought I was going to get straight pipe, okay? But no. Oh, no. This nigga put his face downtown. And a girl like me that had never experienced anything like that, like, girl, I didn't know if I was in heaven or hell. I just knew I was somewhere in purgatory, and I was trying to get the hell out, okay? I was going crazy, and I remember, because I was in a position like if you about to do some sit-ups or crunches. And I remember he put his arms around my thighs to hold me, and he was still downtown going off. And I was like, oh my God. And so then he was already an aggressive dude. So then he started like getting all crazy. And I was like scared because he was like turning into like a Tasmanian devil. And then when he was like getting ready to get the D, he had the condom and he was just, you know, opening it all aggressive, like, "Rrr!" And I was like, oh my God, you know. And so, honey, I wasn't ready. I was not ready. I wasn't ready for the D. You know what I'm saying? You know, as a woman, you know how to prepare for the D. You know how to position your body, angle your body. You know how to, you know, hold a man's hips to have him insert, you know, the slow and steady. I didn't know none of that at the time. And the dude just came in like a wrecking ball, okay? And I was like, oh my God. But at the end of the day, you know, I was in love with him. He was in love with me. And it was an amazing experience based off of that alone. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, me and my ex, we went through a lot, but I don't regret him being the first because, like I said, we were in love. And that's why I always stress to young girls, if you're gonna do this, do it with somebody that you care about, somebody that you love. You know what I'm saying? So if things don't go as planned, you can still have fond memories about it. Like, I'm sitting here laughing about this shit because of what it was back then. You know what I'm saying? I'm not kicking myself. I'm not like, damn, why I let that nigga do it? You know, I don't feel none of that. You know what I'm saying? So, but what I do have an issue with is that for 3 years, I never got the big O. And I told this story in another video, and that's why the girl wanted me to tell it. So, I didn't experience the big O in the relationship at all, right? And so, I remember I went to my friends, because once we opened the floodgates, we was just doing it, you know, whatever. And so, I remember I went to my friends, and I was like, how do you know if you had the big O? And they were like, if you don't know, you ain't had it. And I was like, but that may not be true. I might have had it, but I just didn't know that I had it. And it was like, no, it don't work like that. And I was like, I mean, well, y'all can at least tell me like what it feel like so I can know if I'm having it or not. And it was like, it don't work like that. And so I was just like, holding it in because I didn't want to. I held it in for a long time because I didn't want to fuck with his ego, right? But I started like having resentment because it's like I'm putting in all this work. You know, the nigga was teaching me everything, right? And so I'm like, I'm putting in all this work. I'm burning all these calories, but I'm not getting, you know, anything out of it. You know what I'm saying? Besides the intimacy part. But damn, can I have some fun too? So, you know, I was getting like really frustrated, you know what I'm saying? And I had gotten into my white woman mode, like I need to speak to the manager because the customer service is lacking. So one day we went to Walmart and I didn't get out the car. And he was like, yo, come on, get out the car. And I was like, I need to talk to you. And he was like, we could talk outside. Like, come on. That's my New York accent, okay? And so I was like, no, I need you to sit down and talk to you. And so I was like, you know, I haven't gotten the big O. And the reason why I didn't want to tell him is because how he reacted. He was very upset, very defensive. Like, if you ain't, I don't know what the problem is because I know what I'm doing. Something must be wrong with you because I know what I'm doing, da da da. So I was like, okay, it's not a big deal. You know, I let it go because it wasn't really about, it wasn't like a deal breaker. It was like, let me tell you this. If you could fix it, you could fix it. If not, whatever. It wasn't like I was gonna leave him based off of that. So, you know, I went in Walmart, bitch. I'm going to the candy aisle. And he having a whole conversation with this chick on speakerphone. And he was like, listen to this or whatever. So this girl on the phone, all sexy or whatever, and he was like, yo, what's up? And she was like, hey, what's going on? Long time no hear. And he was like, yo, let me ask you a question. And she was like, yeah, you can ask me anything. And he was like, have I ever made you come? Have I ever made you come? And she was like, oh my God, all the time you made me come and da 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 da. So I'm standing there in Walmart listening to this and I'm like, okay. So yes, the nigga was disrespectful as fuck. That's why we not together. So, you know, I'm like, okay, you got your Wednesday night prayer meeting testimony. Somebody has testified about the D. So I was like, okay, it must be me. You know, I'm 19. It's like, okay, it's me. But honey, it wasn't me because the hubby, The current hubby, he know what he doing, okay? He let me know that he knew what he was doing the first night me and the hubby got acquainted, okay? So, and on a serious note, there are so many writings, especially spiritual writings, that talk about people that are not meant to be in your life for a long period of time, how you don't have good sexual chemistry with them for that very reason. And I kind of believe that probably rang true with me and my ex, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it was what it was. And so that's what happened. See you guys in my next video. Deuces.